Welcome to Cricket Safari and another interesting night here at Sharjah Cricket Stadium for superstar David Warner, the Dubai Capitals captain, just struggling again. Too good, not bad moves either. Chris Lynn, another good night out for him. The Golf Giants getting across the line. Sam Billings, though, his fielding in this tournament already has been superb. Two of the best catches we've seen. The Golf Giants getting home and the 2 points. A really interesting matchup, actually, in the end. 132, the Dubai Capitals posted hit. They had a tricky time adjusting to the wicket, that is for sure. And the Golf Giants, though, some individual performances there. Brief by Lynn, 37, Vince, the captain. But in the end, a victory by 3 wickets. If we have a look at the points table here, you see my Emirates sitting at the top there. The Capitals still in second place. And the Golf Giants jumping up and in third spot there. Early stages of this tournament, still plenty more cricket to come. I'm joined by Niall O'Brien and Jim Chopra on the sideline. And Niall, it got close in the end. It got closer than I thought it was going to.
Good game of cricket, wasn't it? Went down to pretty much the last over, ebbed and flowed in front of a very, very good crowd here on a Saturday evening in Sharjah. I thought they're entertaining. Sometimes, Laura, the small totals are ever so interesting, and it proved that. It looked like the Gulf Giants were going to cruise it, and credit to Dubai Capitals. They showed some real character, but the Giants, in the end, just about good enough.
You could see a wee sigh of relief, Brief, for the Golf Giants there to get those 2 points, Jim. But the wicket was an interesting one, and both teams struggled to adjust to it.
They did, but at the end of the day, you just needed to play the basic strokes consistently, and that's what the Gulf Giants batters probably in the chase were not able to do that consistently. They did well the hard yards in by getting rid of the Dubai Capitals at a very low score. 132 is not a big score, but 133, they really made a chase of it. It'll be very interesting to hear it from the Gulf Giants camp, how they went about the chase.
Now, if you just bring this camera back around here, you'll notice that I've moved. I've changed slightly. Carlos Brathwaite, congratulations. A great win. Great performance by you yourself with the ball, particularly superb. How are you feeling?
Yeah, a little bit nervy at the back end, and I contributed to that, so not happy with that part of it. But with the ball, happy. Seeing a lot of things that we talk about in meetings and in training manifest itself out on the park. So happy for the group of guys, the bowling unit. And then that same group of guys need to be a little bit better with the bat to close out some games. But yeah, happy with the performance. Good to get a win.
Your teammate Hetmeyer behind you there's just giving you a bit of stick. Actually, you want to have a word once you get to the dressing room.
He needs to have a word with him.
I'm not sure he's in a position to give Carlos stick right now.
Yeah, he's in a very good position. Just turn around and have a look.
Come join us.
I need to have a word with him as well.
You can come on in. Let's talk about your 3 wickets tonight. Talk us through them. We've got some pictures here of all the wickets. Talk us through the surface and how you used it to your advantage tonight.
Well, we know Sharjah is quite low. It's been relayed, so it's a little better. I really enjoyed that one. David need to give me a little bit more credit for that one. And then for Raza, just trying to close out. That was my last ball in my spell, so just trying to nail that wide Yorker, take it out to the hitting zone. But yeah, 76%, so that's good to see. Otis Gibson will be happy with that. We wanted to bash that back of a length, so between 7 and 8 meters, and really challenge the stump, challenge for stump, make it difficult for them to get their hands through the ball.
Sorry, Niall, you go.
No, just, Carlos, how difficult, because obviously a very tall man, strong man, not to really run in and try and bowl really fast, but just concentrate on your skills and your execution, especially that wide Yorker that you talk about.
No, they do try to bowl fast.
Oh, do you? Oh, sorry.
I'm just very slow. But no, I guess at some point in time you realise, obviously you try to be as efficient as possible, and if you could push the needle from 128 to 130 to 133, it's just them margins of error. You're playing against good players, so anything you can get, you try. So I still try to bowl a little quicker. It don't always manifest itself on the speed gun, but then skills-wise, you have to really nail it. I think when I see myself as a part of a team, I know I may be asked to be a jack of all trades, maybe bowling the power play, maybe in the middle, maybe at the back end. So at training, I try to hone in on which phase you're really working on and try to hammer away at that, whether it's new ball, whether it's middle, whether it's back end. And all days it don't manifest itself in wickets and a good performance, but you have to back your training and back your preparation that more often than not it will.
A lot's been made of your opposition, David Warner's form already in this tournament. When you got that wicket tonight, you looked like you particularly enjoyed that. There's a bit on. I got to say, great moves, man. Really nice.
But he's my only test wicket, and he topped it off stump, so I was happy with that. And actually, that was a nod to Vince because I was thinking about coming over the wicket and going right across him. and he told me he knows that I am happier around to the left-hander, challenging both edges, and they think I should start that way. It's more of a wicket-taking option, so I actually should have gone to mid-wicket, should have gone to Vincey at mid-on and tell him thank you. But yeah, I was really happy with that, angling the ball in and then having it just straighten a little bit in the top of off, dream wicket.
So your reaction to that wicket was good. It was nice, but it got better. You got Billings, and then we saw some serious moves, which I appreciated.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with the moves though. A little bit of slip. The guy Jamaican dance, the drift, and it didn't exactly drift there. The handbrake wasn't completely up. So I get a little bit of stick to begin with. But yeah, look, we ended as we wanted to begin. So happy with the finish.
We're just a bit worried. Niall, there's a nightclub where we're staying, and we want to take Niall, but we don't think he has any dance moves. So could you teach him how to do it?
Give me a little something. Give me a little something.
Look at those wheels. Yeah.
Never.
Go on, Niall. Angel, what do you got?
I got Irish dance. I just do river dance. I'll just do river dance. I ain't doing that. No Jamaican.
Let's see.
No
Look
Jamaican
at those wheels.
drift.
Show
No
us your
Jamaican.
moves. A little bit of.
Give me a little
Well,
something.
tell me. Show me how we do it then. Let's come on. Talk me through it, buddy.
Come, so just in and out.
In,
yeah,
out?
with the heel.
Oh, heel.
So the heel
in,
going
out,
forward
in.
and sliding. Forward and
Watch,
sliding.
there's a bit on here.
Forward and sliding.
Forward sliding.
And then you get the
forward
hands
sliding. Then you
involved.
get the hand. A bit of this. A bit of that. And a bit of that. The Jamaican drift. Chris Gale.
I don't really know what to make of that. I got to say, I think this was probably the best rendition I've seen of it tonight. Bit of work to do now, but we can clip that off and send that home with you so you can practice if you like.
Hold on, I'm holding a microphone. So that's my excuse.
Yeah, sure.
It's okay, I'll hold it. Practice the dance move.
Anjum's ready. Anjum, let's talk about Sikandar Raza. We talked about him before the game. Those wide Yorkers, we talked about your different options when you're a bowler, and he used them very wisely tonight.
I'm surprised that he came into bowl so very late in the bowling attack. I wonder why the Dubai Capitals held him back as well. But when you're talking about the fact that Sikandar Raza can turn things around with the ball, when he's done well with the bat, in fact, he's been such a major contributor with the bat as well for the Dubai Capitals. Every game he's been making some noticeable contributions, coming in and getting those wickets. What if he had come in slightly earlier? I'm not sure whether Carlos will be very pleased or not, or whether you're actually pleased that he came in a lot later.
Yeah, well, we've seen him try to bowl at the death, so we figured that would have been the plan. And he got a little nervy at the back end. But look, I love Sikandar as a person, but as a cricketer, he does it all. He wants to have the ball in hand in them pressure moments, and it was no surprise what he did and how he did it today, because that's the type of player that he is.
He loves leg side. We saw him hit one out of the ground. Was that your plan tonight then, to wide Yorker, take the leg side out of the game?
Well, we tried to use the dimensions as best as we could. The dimensions were to the offside, but he's such a good player that I didn't want to set just the offside field and be pigeonholed to that. So at the beginning of that over, I told Vince, look, I appreciate that I can be hit for 6 because you're working with small dimensions, good players. But if I can take it out of his arc, mix my pace and my length, then you could probably keep the over down to 8, down to 10, you're winning.
Tell us a little bit about Chris Jordan and what it's like working with him.
Pressure. He liked the militancy. Yeah, like he drives the standards. We had a fielding session yesterday. One thing we have not been happy with is the standards we've set in the field. And he pulled us in after about 3 or 4 rounds and was just like a few expletives, get up to the mark. And I think today you saw with Zuhaib's run out, the performance in the field, Dominic's catch, my catch on the boundary. It was an increased energy about the performance. So outside of his performance with ball in hand and bat in hand at times, I think he's an excellent leader, a brilliant team man, someone you want in your dressing room as opposed to against you.
A glowing endorsement. Now we're going to hear about how he likes to bowl the Yorker and maybe teach us how we could bowl it too.
You know how the saying goes, all is well that ends well. I am Chris Jordan, and today I'm here to talk a little bit about bowling variations at the death. As far as variations are concerned, it's very important as a death bowler to not give too many tells to a batsman first and foremost. So in terms of the wide, slower Yorker, the reason it's so effective in the first place is because the faster Yorker is one of the most difficult balls to hit over the boundary. On the flip side of that, if you have the ability to execute a slow ball Yorker, it can be even more effective because it really slows the batsman's swing down, and if it's right on the popping crease, it's very tough ball to get under. If you're sequencing a slower Yorker along with a quicker Yorker, and you also bowl upwards of 138 to 140, 43, that's where it can be even more effective, because the batter getting accustomed to your pace and having the same swing for each delivery, it becomes much more difficult for him.
A big thanks to Carlos Brathwaite there, who is he's gone, but he was brilliant tonight, brilliant with the ball, brilliant with the Yorkers, particularly the wide Yorkers. And I guess we haven't seen a lot of grass on a pitch in Sharjah before. They've relayed it, so it's a new surface. Are Yorkers something that are going to have to be bowled very well and utilised here, given the surface? Do you think? Because there's a lot of cricket still to be played here.
Yeah, 100%. Any T20 game, especially Sharjah, because not so much the pitch, because you bowl a Yorker, you're taking the pitch out of the game. That's what the bowlers will say, I want to take the surface out of the game. Dimensions is key here at Sharjah because it's the smallest ground of the three. So if you can nail your Yorker and get hit down the ground, take the side. I think one boundary tonight was 63 metres. In this day and age, it's only a little chip shot. So hit down the ground and the wide Yorker. The game has changed so much. You've got the wide Yorker, slow ball Yorker, straight Yorker, and then the Yorker in at leg stump. So you have to work really hard. And Chris Jordan, he's been one of the best for, I'd say, 15 years. Not having a great tournament so far, but he will come good.
A little chip shot for a 6, I reckon I still wouldn't make it. So if we look at the run chase, Anjum, and the way that the Golf Giants went about it, they had a little trouble up the top there, but Chris Lynn was the key to getting them some sort of momentum when they lost those early wickets.
In fact, he was the one who they were looking at providing that impetus. So in fact, the kind of an innings that Chris Lynn played, 37 of 22, you would feel that just gave them a little bit of a cushion towards the end, that even when they slowed down, when the spinners came on for the Dubai Capitals, the good work that was done in the initial part of the game, especially the first 10 overs, it just continued. And Chris Lynn has been that factor. Remember, when you have batters like a James Vince right at the top firing, when you have a Lynn firing, then Gulf Giants looks a very different unit. But once one of them doesn't fire, then the reliance on the other becomes even more. Usman Khan did contribute, but as Brathwaite mentioned, they're very comfortable. They're very comfortable because the good work was done up early on in the overs.
Their captain, James Vince, we saw last season how superb he was with the bat, and he hasn't maybe found that form just yet, right at the start of this tournament, but some of the shots he played tonight, he's a lovely cricketer to watch, isn't he?
I thought he resembled his own self tonight, hitting down the ground. That beautiful 6 down the ground. He went past 10,000 T20 runs, only 11th player in the world to do so. When you see James Vince hit well on the up through the offside and then clip through the leg side, you know he's getting back into it. He's come from Australia. He's playing down under for 6 weeks, bouncy pitches. It's going to take a little bit of time. But there was Linny. Hetmar hasn't fired yet. Usman Khan, I think Usman Khan is a wonderful stroke maker, and they've got Jamie Smith. Gulf Giants are a very good side.
Yeah.
They just haven't played that well yet, but this is a big win tonight.
Yeah, they are a very good side, and if they do all fire at once, you better look out, I reckon, in this tournament. So, Anjum, if we look at the Dubai Capitals, again, some issues despite scoring a couple of runs, 20-odd runs for the captain, David Warner, but he still doesn't look his usual self, does he?
Yeah, before these 20 runs, if you ask him how did he get dismissed and how did he lose his wicket, he'll be like completely all over the park saying left arm seamers have got the better of me. But at least today was a shade better. And if as batter, you're trying to get the better from a 0 to a 1 to a 2 to a 20, you'll say it was a lot better. Yes, he missed the line, but I thought he was definitely praying down the wrong line. He's short of runs, short of form, so the stance in which he was facing up to Carlos Brathwaite was the one to come into him, not the one to leave him. So the stance was wrong, so he didn't even go towards the ball. That can happen when you're not scoring runs, but that's just one of the innings of David Warner that, let's say the initial part of the season hasn't gone David Warner's way, but the kind of a quality player he is, you know that he'll be hitting the ball a lot in the nets to come back into the reckoning, come back into the form and get Dubai Capitals back to winning ways.
Yeah, and he looked really disappointed, I thought, tonight as he came off the field. He looked frustrated, and you can imagine why, because he's such a good player, and he, of all people, knows exactly what he's capable of. Sikandar Raza with bat and ball again tonight was great.
Well, it's early stage of tournament, but he is the MVP so far. Hitting up and over the offside. The young leg spinner came in for his debut and Raza was all over him straight away. Pumped him through the offside. He plays all around the ground, Sikandar Raza. He's got power. We know he's got power down over the leg side. Full swing of the bat. Total commitment in the field. He's Well, he very rarely misses out with the ball. He's always thereabouts. Not a big turn. That's a beauty. A little bit similar to the dismissal that got rid of Nicholas Poran in Dubai not long ago, maybe second game 2, I think it was. So Sikandar Raza, whether he's bowling his offies or a bit of leggies in the field, he'll save you runs in the field. And then with the bat, he's exceptional. For me, so far, the best player of the tournament.
If we talk about in the field and how important fielding is, we know that can sort of light a fire in certain teams. Sam Billings, we spoke about him before this game started. One of the great catches that we've seen there in one of the first matches against My Emirates. But tonight, he was superb to get rid of James Vince from the Golf Giants, Anjum.
Yeah, by his standards, this was simple. A lot more simple because it came straight at him. But the core strength, the power in Sam Billings, the way that he manages to hold his stance was definitely the one that you expected. Once the ball goes in the direction of Sam Billings, he will hold on to it. So now he's contender 1, contender 2. He's fighting his own self. Let's wait. Probably he'll get a few more catches. Just like this in the very first game that he pulled off, he might pull off another stunner.
In the second catch, particularly tonight, it's his presence of understanding his presence of where he is next to the rope, to the boundary, was pretty incredible, I thought. But just explain to me the celebration, because I thought he was saying, "Oh, I don't know if I've caught that," but you told me wrong. That's not what it is.
No, it's a football celebration. They do it a lot in the Premier League in England, and Sam Billings is a massive football fan, huge Manchester United fan. So it's when they score a goal, don't worry about it. Had it under control, easy.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
It's a power move, that, isn't it? That is a real power move on the field. But it's moments like that in a game that can sometimes just switch things in the right direction, light a little fire for the team in the field, can't it, Anjum?
It does, and it provides a little bit of discussion points in the team meeting when you end the day and look at the positive points, the good points, the areas that you've done really, really well, to remind yourself that you're a very good team as well. Dubai Capitals is a good team. Yes, they missed Jack Fraser today, but at least they still remain a good side. So this catch of Sam Billings, much like the catch he took in the very first match for the Dubai Capitals, will remain there, right? One of those top moments in the day. In the 40 overs, what's that one moment that happened right, and a very happy moment for Dubai Capitals was the catch of Sam Billings.
All right, we're going to take a short break here. When we come back, there is so much more cricket coming up this weekend in the DP World ILT20. We're going to break down the big matchups for you. Trent Boult, Nicholas Poran, Andre Russell. That's coming up tomorrow on the DP World ILT20. We'll break it down for you next. Welcome back to Cricket Safari here in the DP World ILT20, and there were 2 matches on today. The first was the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders taking the spoils against the Desert Vipers. They take the 2 points, a good win by them, which they needed by 6 wickets. The Golf Giants getting over the Dubai Capitals here at Sharjah Cricket Stadium, and what a matchup that was. I've got Niall and Anjum alongside me now, and good to see a UAE player step up. Sharafu with his 80-odd runs there, superb.
Yeah, 21 years of age, Alishan Sharafu played for the Sharjah Warriors last season, has a new home this year. He's played 32 international games for the UAE from Kerala. Nice strike with the ball, powerfully built. In the first 3 games, he opened the batting and really did struggle. Today, he dropped down to first drop, number 3, and really had a cracking outing. And they got a great win. They really did need that win. And it's good to see, I say it all the time, a bit of a broken record. This tournament is about UAE talent and developing the game in this region, and that guy's 21 years of age, and he just won a game for his side.
He won it, and it was definitely helped by Andre Russell as well, with 3 sixes at the end to get the team home. And look, the Knight Riders, they are under pressure this season because of how poorly they performed in the first, but this sort of performance really helps, doesn't it?
The very fact is, how do they match this performance with the next performance that they bring it up? So they've done that in the first game that they played, but then they again drop off the radar, and complete contrast to what they do in the previous day when they win a game. So yes, they celebrate, they feel happy, and those high fives are there, that wow, we've done well, we've come back, and this is the way we want to play, this is the way we express ourselves. But what happens the very next day for the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders is actually the one that we actually need to really watch out for. Whether they miss a trick, are they tired, are they exhausted, they're not able to come back to the best of performance. So I'm more interested in seeing exactly what they do the next match.
Yes, and the next matchup is against My Emirates. It's a rematch from a game earlier in the season, and there's already some interesting matchups there, I think. So if we have a look, My Emirates really did demolish them.
Yeah, they got absolutely pummeled, didn't they, Knight Riders? They got bundled out for a 95. We were up there doing that game, and they never really got going. Only for Andre Russell, really. They would have been bowled out for about, I would say, 60. I think Josh Little hung around the back end. Partnership worth 30 odd. In the end, you know, My Emirates, they just absolutely smoked them. Nicholas Pooran's having a wonderful tournament, hitting the ball so cleanly. Yeah, that was a really big loss. But a chance tomorrow. I think it's good what Andrew said. Let's see how they bounce back after a win. That's a great game for them because there's a lot of West Indian flair there. So it's a good game to get back-to-back wins.
And My Emirates have obviously had the day off. We had them here at Sharjah Cricket Stadium yesterday, so they've had the day off in between. How do you think Trent Boult will be feeling? Because he did bowl incredibly well against them last time.
He'll be waiting to get that ball back in his hand and make sure that he swings it. He's been bowling so well. The rhythm for him has come out really the best you've seen right at the start of the tournament. Yes, you would be feeling that Trent Boult can come back again and repeat the same performance that the My Emirates team did here a few nights ago back in Abu Dhabi.
And we've talked, you just mentioned about Nicholas Pooran. I mean, he has, how does he get that level of consistency, the way he can hit it so cleanly?
Well, consistency in T20 cricket is nigh on impossible, but we're seeing a couple of players in this tournament who've just got that level of consistency. Nicholas Pooran is one that everywhere you turn up, a little bit like Sikandar Raza, he always seems to perform. What I think one of the key attributes of Nicholas Pooran, not necessarily his ball striking, which is immense, it's how he analyses a situation and how he reads a game and how he reads the precise moment to put the foot down and be ultra aggressive. He could just read what the bowler's trying to do. He knows exactly what the team needs from him. I think that's where he's really matured. You know, he's always had this ultra talent, amazing ability, you know, going back 4, 5, 6 years. But actually, I think now he knows how to manage a run chase or manage a total, like he did here last night. He got them to a total that was defendable.
So you talk about that maturity. Do you think the captaincy has helped, or the maturity and the captaincy are helping each other?
I think it's just helping each other. For a batter, you need to score runs. For a keeper, you need to be catching the ball well enough, and that everything helps in the captaincy.
Very good. Well, there are some very interesting matchups for you in the DP World ILT20 tomorrow, so you don't want to miss any of those. There's a double header again. Super Sunday, we've got My Emirates, as we mentioned, taking on the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders. It is a rematch for them, 4 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and that is live from Abu Dhabi. And then the next matchup, we're moving into Sharjah Cricket Stadium, some of us. It's the Desert Vipers taking on the Sharjah Warriors. The Sharjah Warriors at home need to find a way to win here. They've had a little trouble so far, and they need some points on the board, that is for sure. Okay, so I'm going to ask for your picks very quickly for those two matchups. Who you got?
Oh, I'll go for a bit of Knight Rider love in Abu Dhabi and a bit of fangs out in Sharjah, the Vipers.
Put your fangs away, Niall.
I'm going the My Emirates way.
Yep.
And I'll wait to tell you whether I'm supporting the Desert Vipers or the Sharjah Warriors. Because I'm supporting Sharjah Warriors, I'll come back and say that again tomorrow.
Yeah, good on you, girl. Good on you, girl. Thank you guys so much for your time tonight. We can head off. You can head off, but make sure you join us tomorrow for heaps more cricket in the DP World ILT20. We'll see you then.